Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Barak Nadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my heavenly Father Yahweh and my heavenly big brother Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Bashim Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person, so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up on what's going on with the food and the water, shortages here, shortages there, shrinkflation here, shrinkflation there. What's the video? Oh, and the high prices going up. You know, inflation here, inflation there. And it ain't just here in America, Babylon Great, but all over the world. That's what I got videos about. But I'm going to play these videos. I'm going to get into the script, my best ability, say whatever God say through spirit, power, Yahweh, Shema, Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Krahak, Kadash, Lord wouldn't be on me. Let's get it.
Can someone tell me why this chicken sandwich, an order of french fries, and this drink, look at it, literally the size of my hand, okay, this is a small drink, was $17.59. Shake Shack, like this. That tastes like it came out of a machine, one of those stupid freestyle machines that has 17,000 flavors in it. It sure isn't for the branding on the bag, because there is none. Okay, I guess the presentation and eating it in your car is kind of cute, but not $17 cute. Like, what, and the $17, I'm sure there's a reason, right? Like,
I can't stand these videos when these people complain about the price of something, but guess what, bitch? You bought the motherfucker, so what the fuck you complain about on the fucking Instagram, but social media? And you got the first thing they ask is another annoying question is, what is going on with the prices, or what's going on? I'm like, hey man, give all praise to the Lord, man, for not having us being like these dumb motherfuckers. You using up they little precious, little not precious, they meaningless times, because our times are precious, and we got to use up times, by you know, building our faith up and praying to the Lord and, you know, all that good stuff. But these people ain't got nothing else to live for but to complain on social media and complain about the prices and shit. And we know this time was coming. These people don't know shit. But like I said, man, give all praise to the Lord, man. But this shit's so fucking annoying. Anyway, I want to rant. Let me go ahead and put the rant on pause and let this play.
Has to be a reason why Shake Shack was just $17.
So I really think we're entering the era of the end of fast food, because with the prices nowadays, who's going to continue to justify being
oh yeah, and it definitely is, especially when they closing a lot of these places up,
able to eat food that you already know
but some gonna be they closing a lot of these bitches up.
It's not good for you, and also pay a lot for it.
Domino's Pizza is closing 250 plus locations and filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Wendy's is closing 300 to 600 locations in 2026. Popeye's Chicken is closing 136 plus locations, and also
oh yeah, speaking of that, yeah, they closing these bitches up. Yep,
filing bankruptcy, mostly in
I was just talking about, boom, it's happening.
Florida and Georgia. Papa John's is closing over 300 locations in 2026. Denny's is closing over 150 locations in 2026. Red Lobster is closing over 100 locations in 2026. Red Robin is closing 70 plus locations in 2026. Pizza Hut is...
Man, I know this ain't got nothing to do with the video, but man, it's like, it's crazy that they'll say it rains. They say it's gonna rain 80%. Was it like a couple days before Saturday? Or like say yesterday, they said it's gonna be 80% chance of rain on a Saturday. I got burped. Like Saturday, and then not even a drop. Well, actually, I did see a drop fall on the windshield. 2 or 3. Actually, it did rain, but it wasn't enough. I was over at my house. It rained a little bit, but wasn't shit. And then they said it's gonna supposed to rain on Tuesday, like 90%, but shit, more like less than that. Now Wednesday, they said, damn, they talking about temperature gonna drop. What the? Oh, wait a minute, bruh. It's gonna be 1st of May and it's gonna be that low? Damn, the second day of May, it's gonna be that low. Damn, this is weird, because usually around May, it will be like 90s, 80s. Yeah. That's weird. Whatever. Anyway, it's the Lord, man. But that's weird. I ain't never seen temperatures that far I can remember from like the past few years, in the month of May, temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Shit.
It's closing 250 locations in the U.S. in 2026. Smoky Bones is closing 120 locations in 2026. It brings me absolutely no joy to bring you this information. However, it is the real facts.
Well, it's bringing me a lot of joy bringing out this information, allowing these folks play their videos to bring out the information. It brings me joy.
Of what is going on in the U.S. economy in 2026. Please don't spend any money. Please plan your spending, do a budget.
I literally got 3 things from Taco Bell, and it was like $15
For fucking toxic hell.
and something. Like a medium, not even a large Dr. Pepper, and 2 cheesy gordita crunches is $15? I'm sorry, what?
I haven't been to KFC in a minute, and I'm sure many of you as well, especially with the high prices at many of these fast food restaurants these days. But one individual found that out for himself. He wanted to get his family a 16-piece chicken meal. And when he took one look at the price, he immediately was in disbelief. Take a look at this video for yourself. Have a look at this.
KFC done lost their damn mind.
Watch. $55. $55 for a 16-piece meal. I paused it and zoomed in on it for you. Take a look at
Damn.
that. $55.19 for fast food. Kentucky Fried Chicken. If you didn't get a chance to look at the rest of the menu because he panned so fast, take a look for a 12-piece. That's $43. An 8-piece, $33. And for tenders, $33.29. 12-piece, $43.19. And as you see, $55.19. So
Virtual show ain't cheap anymore.
basically, in a nutshell, a bucket of chicken at KFC is
But people could somewhat afford it. Hey, some of that bucket of chicken, what does he say, 16 pieces, $50? Over $50. It's gonna be $100. Then gonna be $200. Then gonna be $300, and then gonna be like, hell, the store's closed. All the storehouses should be suddenly found empty. They close them bitches up because they're going out of business. They like, you know damn well nobody ain't buying no chicken for that much. Shit, no.
over $50.
Hey, hell, man. Finding a live living chicken is like, shit. You can get some eggs, but most people gonna be like, kill that motherfucker and eat it. Kill that chicken. They ain't gonna be worrying about no eggs. They ain't got time for that chicken to lay eggs, so they can get some food. And they gotta cook the egg. They gonna just eat the egg raw if they got a raw egg. But yeah, man, it's getting rough out here. Seek the Lord.
Who can afford to eat this stuff? You might as well go to a restaurant if you're going to spend $50. I mean, think about it. The average household, $55.19 for 16 pieces of chicken is just totally insane.
Do you know what pisses me off? Back in 2005, this $20 bill could buy you 11 Crunchwrap Supremes from Taco Bell. Do you know how many you could buy now in 2025 with this $20 bill? Let me show you. Only two. This entire stack right here cost me $84 with tax. Can someone please tell me how this is possible?
Why spend your time? That's what I'd be like, whatever. Anyway, you get it. Shit expensive, and it's only gonna get worse. It's the beginning. Let's see what they talk about here in this video. Shit.
Did you know McDonald's meat is now thinner than their cheese?
It is. McDonald's is coming out some...
Oh, another video about, prices going up. Well, anyway, hope you enjoy it, because I'm not gonna watch all of it.
with some very questionable tactics. Like their meat is thinner than the slice of cheese. How crazy is that?
But how thin is, well, I won't say how thin is a slice of cheese, but shit, it's the same.
Again, in many
Never mind.
of these fast food places, you are seeing where you are paying extra for cheese. In some cases, like $1.50 for one slice of cheese. That's absolutely insane. But this is what I've been telling you for many months now. Fast food shrinkflation is insane in 2026. And for some people, they're spending $20, $30, $40 on an item that they're getting very little of. Look at this right here.
These are the large fries. What's the point of giving me that whole box?
Oh, them niggas, they tripping, bro. They supposed to fill that bitch up to the brim. They just put out half a mile in that motherfucker. They want to put one scoop in that bitch. No, y'all better pack that shit in.
Yeah. Why would McDonald's?
And it's a human that did that shit. I'd be like, no, bruh, you pay for it, but fuck it. Anyway, I ain't even gonna worry about it. I don't even go to no fast food anyway. Shit, I'll be desperate as hell to go to a fast food place.
Give you a whole carton of, a carton for a large fry, but yet they fill it halfway full. Why would they do such a thing? When they have the scooper, they get it all full, stick it in the carton, hit it down, and it just fills it up.
It's like they pinched it. They grabbed just a little. They pinched, not grabbed. They pinched a little bit of fries and just dropped it in there, and that was it. Shit. They like tried to scoop just a little bit, just a portion of it, and dropped it in. Goodness gracious, man.
What's her deal?
She went to Metro and got the new Sam.
And you know how much this shit would cost if you went to the sporting event. Man, that's like $200 right there in her hand. Shit. You got them, each drink costs $10, and then you got the nacho cheese, probably with some jalapeno. The jalapeno sprinkled all over the nacho cheese gonna cost about $25 each. Oh shit, $30. No man, that shit probably $40 each. Maybe $50. Make it $50. Anyway, I did say $200, right? I can't remember. Anyway.
Shrinkflation. What we are seeing right now, and it's not every single McDonald's, but many of them, they're putting less fries in the actual container. Before, they'd fill it so full that when you pull them out of the bag, there's a bunch of fries in the bottom of the bag. Now, not so much. But it's not just McDonald's. Other
Wendy's. I remember one time I went to Wendy's. It was like last year. They did the same shit. Well, was it early this year? I don't know. They did the same shit with me. I ain't even bothered to complain. I was like, fuck it. I was like, why my French fries ain't but like, halfway full? I ain't even gonna bother, man. I was just like, fuck it, just go. Cause then reason why, cause you got Keisha in that damn place, and Keisha look like she'll end up want to bite your fucking head off.
Fast food restaurants.
Keisha got them leap over the damn counter and be like, ah! Get out of my store, nigga, before I bite your head off. I don't want to do that again. My throat. But shit, that bitch there looked like she about to got her braids about to whip around and come alive and go on an attack and goddamn like Medusa and shit. Her braids gonna turn into snakes and shit and sink their teeth or their fangs in my face or something.
Are resorting to some.
I'm just clowning. Anyway.
Questionable tactics. Look at this one from Taco Bell.
So we're at Taco Bell, or we got food from Taco Bell, and this is how our taco came out. Thank you.
Man, please. I don't believe that.
Taco Bell?
Oh my
How
goodness.
wonderful. Thank you so much, man.
I don't believe that. Well, probably do. Probably. They ain't throw no lettuce, no tomatoes, no salsa in it, or no cream in it, no hardly any cheese. The cheese melted on the damn taco.
I tell you what, guys, I guess now you gotta start looking at your food.
Well, they straight up shitted on him.
And opening it up before you even drive away and go home.
Yeah, you might have to start doing that. Where before you even drive off, you open up the bag and you look through it to make sure everything's there, but also you're not getting, ripped off by a little piece of beef in your taco.
Beef, it could be a turd. It'd be smeared on. Ain't no telling. Could be rat turd or the human turd, most likely.
That's kind of where we're at. Again, let me know down in the comment section below if you've experienced any of these things in your area. Let me know, because right now, this is a real concern that people are boycotting some of these fast food restaurants as a result of their constant price hikes, but also the food becoming less quality and it's smaller. So you got less quality and less quantity. Those are not two things you want at the same time.
I want to be, hey, talking about boycotting. Don't waste your time. You about to close these bitches up anyway.
But look at this one.
So I ordered one of those Crunchwrap sliders. Check this out. Massive. I'll be so full when I'm done. Look at this. I'm just a...
It kind of resembled to the Ninja Star of Death. That formation. Yeah, it looked like the blue Ninja Star of Death, sort of.
Baby.
You know what I'm talking about. The Ninja Star of Death. Anyway, Amalek Star. The Star of Amalek, not David.
That's probably mostly tortilla than anything else. But this is what we are seeing. And I bring this up because we're talking about fast food shrinkflation in 2026. Again, it's absolutely insane.
All right, that's enough of this video. You get it. It's pretty pitiful, man. It's only gonna get worse. What the F is this doing right here? This ain't supposed to be right here. I had this video. Oh, come on, bro. Y'all, YouTube's a fucking, god damn. Let me start this over. Or refresh it.
Did you know me?
Yeah, YouTube ain't shit. I'm supposed to have this right here. And let me see. Or should I have? Ah, fuck it. I'll go ahead and put that back over there. Play this one.
Stop and savor the struggle.
Well, we have a major problem. Farmers are actually skipping this planting season. Some farmers are selling their land to developers. Others are leasing it out to other farmers. And right now, it is a huge concern. This could mean a food crisis or food shortage is upon us. It could be in the next several months. And that's what experts are concerned with. I've been telling you this for the past several weeks, that a food crisis is likely coming. Exactly what it looks like and who it impacts, that we just don't know. But look at this. It says, some Minnesota farmers skipping planting season amid rising fuel and fertilizer costs. Now, I want to read a little of this to you, because there are several factors that are being...
And oh yeah, just to mention, out of the blue, I do this all the time, but sometimes in the middle of the videos I make, or in the beginning, or the middle, or the end, but damn sure don't want to make it the end, but say that all this is happening just so to lead people to get their chip implant, the mark of the beast. I'll get straight to the point. I'm trying to say extra stuff. Let's get straight to the point. All this leading to the chip implant, the mark of the beast. Everything's too expensive. People had dire need of food, and people can't afford shit. People lost their jobs. People did this, did that, and there's problems stacked up on problems. Guess what? When there's problems, there's gonna be reactions. Other people, of course, and then Esau gonna come with that solution, which be the chip implant, the mark of the beast. They're gonna make all your problems go away, supposedly until the missiles come and the nukes rain down and Donkey Kong your ass upside the head. But all this shit is leading to the chip implants, mark of the beast.
Considered here. It is the cost of fuel, the cost of fertilizer, the cost of just planting and the labor. But there's also things like shipping. What are we gonna do there? And then you factor in a possible drought. You factor in water shortages in some parts of the United States. And I talked about this just yesterday. And then on top of that, you factor in the actual price of the crops. Everything is going against farmers these days. Look at this right here. It says, planting is underway and spring conditions have been good across much of Minnesota. But even so, some farmers are electing to sit out a year. It says, it's very dry for April 20th. We have great field conditions, dry soil. The frost is out of the ground. Okay. It says right here, as a farmer, I'm optimistic that eventually we're going to have a market that will support farming. It says right here, the neighbors will pay me $300 an acre, and I can just take the year off. I mean, yeah, it's a very particular set of criteria for you to be able to do that. But this is what people are doing. They're taking a year off of farming. Okay, think about this for a second. Now, I asked a couple people that, again, are farmers, and one of them is selling some of his, or renting out some of his land. Listen to this right here, okay? This person says, and I quote, I don't think enough people are talking about our food shortage that we have here in the United States. Many farmers that I know have personally stopped planting new crops for this season. Many, and including myself, won't make any money due to tariffs, the war, and the rising oil and fertilizer prices. And because of that, we are using our land for other things. Personally, I rented my land to a group for a music and craft festival. I know I won't make a lot of money for this entire year, but it's enough to pay my bills for the next few months. So I'm happy with that. That's what he said. That he is going to rent his land out. And I don't know how much this person has, but he's going to rent his land out to a group for a music and a craft festival. I don't know if that's music and craft, or it's a music festival, and then later on it'll be a craft festival. I have no clue. Didn't ask. But I think that's interesting, because more and more farmers are considering that exact move. Just not farming this year. Look at this one right here. It says, not very appealing. Low crop prices weigh on Minnesota farmer going into planting. If the crop prices are low, why would somebody go and pay more for the fuel, the machinery, right? The water, everything. Why would they, and the fertilizer, why would they pay more to get it, pretty much growing, when the crop price is not supporting the cost of actually planting. That's the issue. And I think a lot of people are missing that. Look at this one right here. It says South Alabama farmers delay planting amid global shipping disruption. It says rising fertilizer costs, supply delays leaves Mobile and Baldwin County growers weighing whether to plant this season. Somebody else wrote to me, this is exactly what they wrote. And I quote, "You are right. A food crisis is coming and most people have no idea how bad it could get. I would normally help out my brother on his farm, but he hasn't planted anything this year. My brother says that because of crop prices and recent labor costs, we need to change our plans. We have roughly 110 acres of wheat, but he says he is saying that we need to switch to soybeans if we plan to keep going and make money. Instead of the full 110 acres, we are only going to harvest 40 acres because that is all we have the ability to do this year. And he even brought up the idea of selling 25 acres to a nearby farmer so that we have some cash for a few years." Okay. Now, here's what I find interesting. One person says they're going to rent out their land, okay, to music and craft festival. This person says they're considering selling 25 acres of land to a nearby farmer so that they have cash for at least a few years. That's interesting. Two different ideas, two different styles here. But there's also things like, shipping, what are we going to do there? And then you factor in a possible drought. You factor in water shortages in some parts of the United States. And I talked about this just yesterday. And then on top of that, the neighbors.
I know I did. So I accidentally hit the number key and it skipped. What the fuck? Where did I left off at? Where? I swear I was like probably somewhere around here.
Could get. I would normally help out my brother on his farm, but he hasn't planted anything this year. My brother says that because of crop prices and recent labor costs, we need to change our plans. We have roughly...
I didn't know if you hit one of the number pads, it will... Oh yeah, that skipped to the end of the video. What the F? Go back.
Well,
I think I'm like halfway in. Let me go put it right here because I
says that because of crop prices and recent labor costs, we need to change our plans. We have roughly 110 acres of wheat, but he says he is saying that we need to switch to soybeans if we plan to keep going and make money. Instead of the full 110 acres, we are only going to harvest 40 acres because that is all we have the ability to do this year. And he even brought up the idea of selling 25 acres to a nearby farmer so that we have...
I already heard that. I think I was here the last time. Well, anyway, if you want to watch the full length without me messing up, hitting the wrong key, hit the title of the video. There goes his channel if you can see that. I'm not gonna zoom in because it ain't even worth it. I only do it when it's a brother's video, and that's about it. Matter of fact, I will zoom in. Yeah, there you go, right there, Zender's report. Anyway, next video.
Well, how are things sitting right now with the global economy? We keep hearing the horror stories about fertilizer disruptions, famine, food shortages, everything else that could become as a result of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz and this global war. Christine Lagarde, head of the ECB, she's not given to hyperbole. I mean, she's of course, in control of the largest banks and the European banking structure. Remember, she's famous for telling us that she wanted us to move away from cash. Of course, in my mind, this is all about control. But here is Christine Lagarde talking specifically about food rationing and what is coming. Listen.
A third of the fertilizers is shipped through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, that is also at risk. And it matters particularly in the southern hemisphere, where the planting, and therefore the fertilizers, is badly needed now. I'm not saying that just out of interest for agriculture. Don't forget, I was Minister of Agriculture in France for a month and a half. But because it matters to me as a central banker now. Because if the price of food increases significantly, it is not going to just be the price of food, it is going to be inflation expectations. Because we know that people are particularly attentive to two things: the price of food, processed and unprocessed, and the price of gas at the petrol station. So here are three indirect consequences of what's happening in the energy world. So if the disruption persists long enough, the adjustment shifts from prices, which we are putting up with now, to possibly rationing, with very different economic consequences. Higher prices are primarily inflationary. Shortages hit output directly and are worse for growth. Overall, there have been so far limited signs of supply chain disruption, both globally and in the euro area. But local tensions are visible. Jet fuel prices have roughly doubled since the outbreak of the conflict, and rationing has been imposed at some individual airports in Europe since early April. And I'm not talking about what's happening in the rest of the world. I'm just back from the IMF and the World Bank spring meetings, like many of you, and you might have bumped into colleagues from Asia, in particular some of the low-income countries or emerging market economies that are taking a much more severe hit than us and are moving into rationing.
Yeah, so Asia moving into food rationing and fuel rationing. Lufthansa yesterday announcing the cancellation of hundreds of flights because they don't have the fuel for it. And then the fertilizer moving through the Strait of Hormuz. Like, are people taking this seriously? And you hear just in her voice, I mean, as a central banker, she doesn't want to scare people, but she's kind of, you can hear it there, that they're all the signals. She's basically pointing out all of the signals. We're back with Professor Jiang to talk about the global impact of this war in Iran. Professor, what do you make of Christine Lagarde's message there, and do you see a much bigger problem emerging?
Yeah, I think she is forewarning a major catastrophe approaching the global economy that's going to come very soon. So she points out 1/3 of the world's fertilizer passes through the Strait of Hormuz. And most people don't appreciate this, but fertilizer is what feeds the world. So without fertilizer, the globe, the earth, could sustain 1 or 2 billion people, 2 billion people if you're optimistic. So basically, we're able to have 8 billion people on this planet because of fertilizer. Now, if you take out fertilizer out of the equation, this means that a lot of people are going to starve. There's no way around it. So this brings up a much bigger point, which is people don't appreciate the fragility of the global economy. We use something called just-in-time supply chain system. So there's very little inventory, there's very little resilience. The system doesn't know how to cope with setbacks, with delays. It's designed to be as quick and as efficient as possible in order to maximize benefit for the consumer. So this system was not designed to be resilient, it was designed to be efficient. And this is going to cause a lot of problems for the world. Another point that I will make is that these policymakers know that this catastrophe is coming. And the thing about policymakers is that they don't let a crisis ever go to waste. And policymakers are first and foremost concerned about how to create more control over people, how to create an AI surveillance state. And if you talk about rationing, well, what comes naturally with rationing is basically digital currency and digital ID, right? Because think of communism, think of Marxism. Think of a command economy where, because there's so little food, because there's food scarcity, there's fuel scarcity, well, we have to ration this, so we have to basically give you coupons. We do that digitally through digital currency. And so think of more control, think of more financial repression, think of possibly economic collapse.
So, you know, I'm trying to extrapolate what this will be the lived experience for us, because the Wall Street Journal recently reported that the Pentagon was approaching American companies like Ford and General Motors to shift factory capacity towards weapon making. You know, they can ask them nicely, but they also can use the Defense Production Act to require companies to prioritize and accept government contracts. And Secretary of War Pete Hegseth had said, this is to put us on a wartime footing. So that doesn't mean live your lives, we're going to go to war, you know, it's all good. It's you will live in a wartime footing. And so what was the lived experience during World War II for Americans is Rosie the Riveter, the woman goes to work, and food shortages and food rations. And it was not optional. So there is precedence for this. It's not hysterical to think that we are being pushed towards this, right?
Yeah, no, I think history might repeat itself. So what led to...
Then it's also going to push people to get them chip implants.
World War II.
Mark of the beast.
Was first of all 1929 stock market crash, where billions of savings were wiped out. We might see a similar situation where the stock market collapses, and possibly there is a cyber attack, a cyber false flag attack on the nation's financial data centers. So all that money you have in the bank might be wiped out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cyber attack.
And you can blame the Iranians for that, even though
the fall guy, the boogeyman.
Happy the Iranians. This will lead to a depression in America, where people become desperate for jobs, where people become...
And they'll be desperate for that chip implant as soon as they implement that shit.
Desperate for food. The government can now step in and create a command economy.
Yep, they step in and bring in a solution, which would be the chip implant.
Just like what they did in the 1930s, right? Roosevelt's New Deal. And then the economy switches to a wartime economy where you are making drones, weapons, and munitions for all these wars overseas that America has to fight in order to ensure it has control over the world's oceans and resources.
I mean, everything you're talking about is already coming to fruition, right? I mean, a $1.5 trillion wartime budget at the Pentagon under President Trump, the move towards digital currency, the House resolution.
Yeah, digital currency. Don't forget about chip implant.
It's now coming forward. We've covered it here on the show about this new digital ID that would be required to sign into the internet.
Chip implant.
Basically, as an age verification, they tell us it's about safety, but it's all about control. This is the control grid that's coming right before our eyes, and we're just like walking blindly right into it right now in the United States.
Right. So there are two major pieces to this AI control.
And you have no choice but to, because this prophecies. The Lord's in control of everything. We just pray, Lord, have mercy on. For you believers, but seek the Lord and pray like heaven. The Lord have mercy on you, give you the strength to endure.
Right. The first is you would need an enforcement mechanism, and this would be ICE. Do you really need soldiers with machine guns in the streets to deport illegal immigrants? Obama was able to do so without soldiers. He did it just through cooperation with local law enforcement, right? So I think the ICE, it's meant to be almost like a Gestapo.
I'm gonna stop right there because I don't know where they about to go into now, but yeah, rationing food and lockdowns are here. Shit, you better seek the Lord. Let's see what this is about.
Robodogs are going to be patrolling and guarding our croplands. Take a look at 2003 compared to 2026 food prices and air travel. That's a thing of the past. People have taken heed of the Klaus Schwab things of the past list. We're encountering a few of them right now, airlines being one of them. Almost every nation and airline carrier across the planet is reducing flights. Wasn't that a thing they told us we were going to get cut on air travel anyway? But I was shocked looking at the food prices from 2003 until now. Some of these forecasts saying that our food's going to rise 30% for the rest of the year. Way underballing that one. But first, let's take a look at some planetary lineups, otherwise known as planetary geometry during the Japanese earthquake. Lining up for you here.
Let me skip some of this. If you want to watch the rest of the whole video, then there go the title, there go his channel.
And the damage of and the way the atmosphere is crafting.
This is what I want to get to.
That's content for a different video. Futurism, robot dogs patrolling precious crops as food crisis deepens. Bayer of all companies is supplementing human security patrols around his 8,000 acres of Hawaiian corn with robotic security dogs. They have thermal imaging and guaranteed they have some sort of small arms on them.
Yeah.
And along with the other bigs, Bayer, here we got Palantir. They're teaming up to take over and guard our crops. Oh, fox in the hen house is what I'm saying. Palantir inks $300 million. I'm surprised it's not $330 million. Deal with the USDA to safeguard our food supply. Palantir loves us. And when I say that, these giant corporations totally control more of the food. Now, you realize the human element's being removed out of here. There's no compassion any longer. My family's starving. Don't care. Robot Dog doesn't care. AI doesn't care. Nothing cares on that robotic level about the human species. There's nothing empathy-wise included in this machine world that we're moving into. But notice that they're going to be using robots. They're telling you right straight in your face, we're going to be patrolling our crops, which are going to get very valuable, obviously.
God dang it. I knew I was going to fuck up. Well, since that happened, let me move this video right there instead. Alright, let me get back to this dude video.
Robodogs. Going to be a food supply. I mean, sheesh. Going to get any more bizarre? A robotic, and there's going to be a series of them. It's not going to be one dog. 8,000 acres, that's a huge amount of land. Huge. So there's probably going to be dozens of these. They all have thermal cameras. You think you're going to hide in the cornfield? No way. They're going to pick you out in a second. These things are fast, they're agile. They don't.
It remind me of Metalhead. Well, you know, Black Mirror. Check that. Let me see, make sure. Was it called Metalhead? Metal. That sucker was running. I know it's CGI, but still Metalhead. Black Mirror. Yeah, this nickel. Not the damn game, the fucking. Yeah, that shit right there.
Stop, and you know, if you kit them out with a little bit of armory on it, then they could go anywhere and stop any threat, pretty much. So this is what we're going to be up against. Now, these so far are protectors, but what happens if they create something that destroys, and then, you know, you're forbidden from growing gardens, and they drop these things out in the countryside, and they're just going through destroying all food sources, compared to what we see here, where they're protecting the food. Like, it can go both directions on this. Don't kid yourself. Well, Palantir in charge as well, safeguarding the U.S. food supply. I mean, sheesh. Can it get any more bizarre than this? Wall Street doesn't lose money on sell-offs. You do. They create the panic, wait for you to dump your position out of fear, and scoop it up at a discount.
I guess that's it for that video. Let me see if there's any. Oh yeah, it got something else.
Bud's ready for 2003. This is an old Publix supermarket receipt, 2003. And with the power of AI and myself diving into it, January 14th, 2003, I wanted to compare them with what the prices were now. But me, I'm lazy. I'm not going to go through and do all the research myself. I said, hey, Grok, please compare 2003 to 2026 price comparison. Show me the difference in percentage. Okay, Claritin allergy. So now medicines seem to be the biggest increases in everything that was on here. That went from $5.99 to $22.99. About almost 3 times increase in price. Tylenol, at least doubling. It went from $4.79 to $9.99. Tylenol arthritis, almost doubling. It went from $3.99 to almost 12 or 11.5. Here's something interesting. Pastel paper plates, they only doubled. Bamboo skewers, obviously they're going to be doing some sort of over the barbecue.
Well, anyway, it's going to double and it's going to triple and it's going to quadruple and it's going to blah, blah, blah. I don't know, what, 10 times more expensive, 20 times more expensive to shit. You ain't going to be able to buy it. Or either it's not going to even be here available. Next video. Is it the next? Yeah, I'm going to stop right there. If you want to watch the rest of it, they go to title. They go to the video channel. Next one.
My friends, welcome. Palantir has just inked a deal with the USDA to take control over the data about the U.S. food supply. Now, this is concerning for a number of reasons, most of which you probably already are feeling right now. We'll just start by saying, of course, as a reminder that Palantir is the company which has already been aligning with various departments of defense, or war departments now, and then in the Ministry of Defense in the UK, where it was quoted that they will be helping to accelerate the kill chain. I have a report posted about that a few months ago. So they're very much an AI for war kind of a company. Bear that in mind as we discuss what this particular company has just achieved when they align with the USDA. The USDA, because they were planning on this has obviously been an agenda for some time now, started last year consolidating all of their analog systems and all their old systems and disparate siloed data platforms into one new data service, into one, they call it actually a ontological data framework, which is it's also insightful. It's called One Farmer, One File, and it means that they have all of the data in one place about any given operation. And in their press release here, you can read about how it's going to make life easier for farmers. Now you can use login.gov to come access your subsidy information or whatnot. So it's all dressed up as a convenience for the farmer. The new Palantir deal, we can go back to the press release, is all about how, it's the war in Iran, and it's, things are getting a little hairy out there, so we really need now, in fact, they say...
that shit. Hold on. Instead of quoting it, let me go ahead and show it. It ain't much to say and read, but at least show it. Shoot. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. It's always, man, this shit's leading people to the chip implant. Another thing too, I had on my mind, but I didn't know when was a good time to read it. But read this, Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And is in the hand of Esau, Edom, so-called white man, but he ain't white. He's raising the baby dick sucking Jewish faggot nigger, Amalek. They playing this stuff out, and it's happening. It's happening. It's all leading to that chip implant, the mark of the beast. And it's best and wise for you Israelites to do, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled bird that look like the heathens, to seek Yahweh by Shemal Shah now, before it's too late. And when it's too late, you fucked.
Now, national agriculture is it's a critical infrastructure of national security. And so for your safety, we have to have Palantir take over the food supply.
God damn. And you know who the faces of Palantir, who represent that shit. Esau, Amalek, of course. Come on, bruh. These niggas don't give a fuck about your ass. They want to surveillance you with AI and control your food supply. Hey, that rhymes. They want to surveil you with AI and control your food supply.
And of course, as I've reported on also, Palantir's CTO ran off to become chairman of the board, along with a substantial amount of investment they provided to the company that was Ginkgo Bioworks, which is one of the companies creating genetically engineered microbes to do sensing and reporting from places like soil. So as they format the soil and get rid of all of the natural biology that makes soil the amazing thing that it is, I was just talking about compost in my last video, and you can tell I'm passionate.
Man, these niggas gotta get stopped, bro. This motherfucker Esau's a nigga. And then they talking about some hate speech. I had one video, they talk about hate speech. This video got hate speech. You gotta delete this video. You've been hit with a strike. Hey, look what this nigga doing. This nigga's anti-life, bruh. He's anti-earth, nigga. He's anti anything that's alive. If it's got 2 legs, 4 legs, or if it squirms and wiggles, that shit need to die. Unless this nigga gonna make it in his fucking laboratory. Get the fuck out of here.
About this, right? This is like
This nigga's insane. That's why we pray the Lord to come. If you niggas out there that be like, oh, the white man's a genius. Oh, hell, the white man, he's solving all the world's problems. No, the fuck he ain't. He is the fucking world's problem. Shit. Amalek too, the baby dick sucking Jewish faggot nigga. They're the problem. And all you fucking heathens are the fucking problem. Goodness gracious, no flesh will be saved, bruh. These niggas about to fuck your stomachs up. Y'all niggas ain't gonna be shitting right after this nigga get somewhere close to daggone boy. The shit. Anyway.
You don't know Elaine Ingram's web of life in the soil? Like, there's just an amazing amount of life. That is part of the heart of what makes Earth special and a sacred place. And they're just getting rid of that and putting in these genetically modified microbes that will report.
See what I mean? They replacing the Lord's creation with something that's an abomination. Hey, that rhymes. They're replacing the Lord's creation with absolute abomination. I ain't say it like that, but I just will say absolute just to throw that in as a bonus. Shit. They are replacing the Lord's creations and with some fucking abominations. And say that we did that. They have a sticker of whoever Esau looked like. Let's just say any kind of Edomite looking nigga. They just put a bunch of Edomites on his sticker, and they're pointing saying, we did that. We did this. We're killing off the life. We're killing ourselves. We're killing our own people. We want to kill all you Israelites. We did that. Yeah, they so damn did. They were doing it. And them niggas need to be stopped. The real niggers.
Via various signaling mechanisms. This is also tied into an ARPA-H and DARPA projects. Report on soil moisture.
I forgot to mention, I ain't even read the rest of this scripture. Let me get back to here. And they cover fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Yeah. I forgot to mention that. Finish off reading that. But yeah, it's all about control. I mean, they're going to be damn can get the ultimate controller when they had them chip implants implemented. Mandatory.
So that you can have smart irrigation. The presence of pathogens.
They want to control everything, even the microbes in the dirt. They get rid of old microbes and replace it with some other shit that's bioengineered. Oh my goodness. It's absolute madness.
So that we can have, they call it BioShield, so that we can have an early detection of pathogens and other farm outbreaks.
So it's like a fucking bioengineered nanobot type shit or some get the fuck. They want to be like the Most High, have all control over everything. Can you imagine having the power of Yahweh, who the word called God, and his son Yahweh Shah, who the word called Jebus, have the power of them where they know all and they see all. They control the microbes and the microbes of the microbes. They're just scales of small things, smaller than the smallest. And Esau want that power by using this bullshit technology and making pseudo bullshit out of his laboratory. Man.
Smart. All of this is dressed up in safety and national security because of the war in Iran. There's all of these philanthropic causes that they put on it, and now there's a crisis that they're using to shoehorn it in. But the bottom line here is that this is it. This is the takeover of the food supply by the technocrats. And I also want to point out that this is not the first time this has happened. Right? We've seen
Bill Gates
under the Soviet rule, when they went in and millions of Kazakhs fell in a famine because they tried to control the way food was being produced. That was 1930. More recently, and this is extensively written about, including in this massive book called Tombstone, about the Great Chinese Famine, which was flowing from the Great Leap Forward. Just to put the whole thing in a nutshell, and to illustrate my point about why a bureaucratic, or now technocratic, takeover of food production, a centralization, and then top-down driving by people who have no idea what it's like to work with animals or soil, inevitably leads to a productivity collapse and ecosystem collapse, and thus famine. One of the things that was documented in the Great Chinese Famine, the Great Leap Forward, was that these officials in China who were in charge of making sure, of trying to end the famine that was already starting.
This is why you should not get dental implants during the holidays. Well, that bird is...
What the fuck is that?
Said, well, it's because of these birds that are eating our crops. And if we could just get rid of these birds, then then we'd solve all our problems. And so they started a campaign of killing off all of the, specifically of sparrows. And lo and behold, once they killed all the birds, there was nothing to control the insect population. And so locusts.
And then the insects came along and ate. Yep. Problem reaction. Then there's a solution. It's just adding more problems. And there's a problem, every reaction, and shit, and more problems.
And other insects devastated the crops at levels that were unforeseen.
Oh, they made up a problem, they said, and then they think it's a solution. They just created a real problem.
On that, and thus the famine got even worse. And of course they just...
And then the people are so stupid to allow that shit to happen. They didn't even realize it. And they just fucked themselves up in the government. It's just like about as stupid as these people. These people are really stupid. I'm talking about this timeline of people on this earth are really stupid. Well, Americans, I don't know about people in other countries, but whatever.
Farmers at that point, because that's how communism works. But I really can't think of no better example of how centralization of food production and of control over food production, and then ruled by technocracy.
I'm gonna stop right there, but yeah, man, these the government is these techno crackhead niggas that's on dope all the time and shit. And they got the spirit of Satan on their ass too. Goodness fucking gracious, bro. Yeah, nobody's safe. Not even your stomach is safe. Let's get to this next one.
A new global report is warning that hunger is no longer a temporary crisis, but a deepening long-term global emergency.
Yeah, temporary, no, it ain't no longer temporary.
2026 Global Report on Food Crisis
she got a lazy eye.
Reveals that 266 million people across 47 countries faced high level of acute food insecurity in 2025. And more than 39 million people faced emergency levels of food insecurity. Over 35.5 million children were acutely malnourished, and around 10 million of them suffered.
There's gonna be a lot of judgment when this shit pops off. Ooh-wee. It's gonna get 2026 to 2027. Shit, I hope it stops at 2027. This shit gonna be some wild, crazy shit. A lot of, the Lord said it's gonna be great devil. Hold on, let me get to that scripture. Now I forgot what is the scripture? What am I supposed to be looking for? Great. Damn, I can't type. Okay, it's this. Typing it in wrong. Alright. I gotta zoom in. Was it 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 17? Woe is me, who would deliver me in them days? Ezra see the days through the visions that the Lord given him in the past and showing him what the future gonna be like, because he's here right now in the present time. If that makes sense, he's been reincarnated. If you don't believe it, I don't care. Anyway, Ezra seeing what's life like at this present time right now as I speak. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. There's going to be a lot of dead people out here, either dead from the wars, the beginning of wars, yep, or just all plagues and pestilence, teeth of wild beasts, whatever judgment. But the worst judgment they ever get it, well, it's slow and painful. It's famine and going through hunger. Shit. Well, hell, we already going through a famine of nutrition. Because, hell, we ain't getting no nutrition in the food we eat, hardly. Well, make sure, but then, hell, when it's like filler food or something that fill your gut, shit, you can forget about it. Because a lot of people going to be hit by that shit hard. And that's why you Israelites need to seek the Lord, man. Get your spirit and your mind ready for this shit to go down. I won't say shit, but get down for this. Baby, have your spirit and pray like heaven, Lord, have mercy on you. And also, I got to mention, I ain't gonna say that don't do it. Do it. But if you feel like you see the warning signs of famine and lack of water and bread and all that shit going down, get you some extra. I ain't gonna tell you how much. It gets you a little extra food. You see some on sale, take advantage. You see some on clearance, take advantage of it. You see anything that you can, take advantage of it. Yeah. Anyway.
From severe acute.
Get you some stuff. It's wise. If you could afford it, cool. Like I said, get some on clearance. If you can find anything on clearance, that's all I'll be looking at, clearances. Shit, buy one get one free or something like that, if you can. Food bank, get you some food bank. Get some canned food from the food bank. Well, I want to do that because some people really do need food, but yeah, some people really need the food from the food bank. And if you don't, then you know you can afford it. Go and buy it. But anyway. But ultimately, don't leave out the prayers of Yahweh Shema Shai and the faith of Yahweh Shema Shai. Don't never leave that out.
Even more alarming is the number of people experiencing catastrophic hunger, which has increased ninefold since 2016. According to the report, 10 countries including Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Sudan and Syria.
And America. Soon to come. And the UK or Europe, that shit. You're going to be suffering a lot of famine. And they're going to be having commercials saying, please donate food to the starving children in Florida of the United States of America, in Florida, and in California, and in New York, and in Georgia. Donate some food for the starving children in Georgia, in America. Yeah. Shit.
They account for nearly 2/3 of the global total. Pakistan was among the world's 10 largest food crises in 2025, with about 11 million people facing acute food insecurity. Of those affected in Pakistan, 9.3 million people were classified in crisis conditions, and 1.7 million in emergency, while the two most severe categories, which are short of famine. Now, one of the factors driving food insecurity last year was extreme weather, particularly heavy rains and flooding that caused loss of crops and affected more than 6 million people. In 2025, famine was confirmed in Gaza and parts of Sudan, marking the first time that two separate famines have been recorded in a single year since tracking began. The report was released by an alliance of UN agencies, the European Union and partners. It paints a stark picture. Hunger is now persistent. It's widespread and increasingly concentrated in conflict-affected regions. Ongoing conflicts, climate shocks, and economic instability are expected to keep food insecurity at critical levels through 2026. Global market disruptions, including those linked to tensions in West Asia, they could further drive up food prices and strain supply chains. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is calling the report a call to action and is urging world leaders to scale up aid and address the conflicts.
All they gonna do is address the shit, but what they gonna do about it? That's fucking nothing. They gonna be like, start these niggas out till they get that chip implant, because that's what the plan is. Worldwide, they want this shit to go down and want people to get them chip implants. They need people to get those chip implants. It's part of their new world order, their agenda, shit. But don't you go rushing to get that shit. You better be rushing to get to Yahweh Shema Shai by seeking them. And how you do that? By seeking his prophets and repent for you Israelites, you Hebrew Israelites. Ezekiel chapter 5 verse 16, when I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction. And yeah, it's the Lord's destruction. This is the Lord's will. This is part of his movie, this story. You don't believe it? I don't care. Tomorrow, God don't kill. He don't starve people out. I'm like, y'all a bunch of dumb y'all dumb. Which shall be for their destruction. As you can see, I'm reading the scripture saying what the Lord is doing. Who y'all even call God and Jebus, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. This is what they're doing. Let me start over. When I shall send upon them, when I, Yahweh Shema Shai, shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction. The people that ain't taking heed, fuck the heathens, it's about you Israelites. If you Israelites ain't taking heed, it's gonna be for your destruction. You don't seek the Lord, it's gonna be for your destruction. And which I will, Yahweh Shema Shai, I will send to destroy you 2/3 of Israel. Fuck the heathens. It ain't about them. It's about you Israelites. And I, Yahweh Shema Shai, will increase the famine upon you, you 2/3 of Israel, and will break your staff, you Israelites, 2/3 of Israel, again, staff of bread. And you know staff of bread is the support system of food, processing the food, butchering the food, growing the food, delivering the food, everything about the food ain't coming to you. Shit. I'm tired. Let's get to the next one.
Right now, at this exact moment, two separate forces are converging on the global food system simultaneously, and the combination of what they are doing together is something the world has never faced in quite this way before. One is a war, one is a weather pattern. And on their own, either one would be serious enough to demand the attention of every government, every economist, and every food security expert on the planet. Together, hitting
in case y'all know, this nigga ain't no real person. He's just an AI.
Same time, overlapping in their damage.
And wait a minute. Now, why am I seeing... You would think this video... It's another channel they got... They posted shit up like a couple days ago. Anyway. They're using the same nigga right here. The AI looking dude. I mean, AI Asian.
Compounding each other's effects. They are building...
There was another channel that... I know the other channel got way more subscribers than this. This was just put up like yesterday. I guess he made another one. Anyway.
Toward a crisis that experts are now openly calling the beginning of the next global food catastrophe. This is not a prediction about the future. According to analysts from the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, the Council on Foreign Relations and Foreign Policy, the next global food crisis has already begun. The question is no longer whether it happens. The question is how bad it gets and how fast. Start with the war, because that is where the most immediate and measurable damage is being done. On March 2nd, 2026, a senior advisor to the commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps announced that the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow waterway connecting the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman, was closed. 16 miles wide at its narrowest point, one of the most consequential choke points on the surface of the entire planet. Through that strait passes roughly 20% of the world's seaborne oil and natural gas. That is the number that grabbed headlines first because oil prices immediately spiked above $100 a barrel, and gas prices in the United States climbed 5 to 10 cents per gallon every single day. By March 31st, American consumers were paying $4 a gallon at the pump, a 30% surge in weeks. The energy story was enormous and visible and impossible to ignore. But the food story that was developing in parallel was actually more dangerous, and almost nobody was talking about it. Because through that same strait, through that same 16-mile passage that was now effectively closed to normal shipping traffic, passes approximately 1/3 of all the fertilizer shipped anywhere on Earth. Not 5%, not 10%. 1/3 of the entire global supply of seaborne fertilizer moves through the Strait of Hormuz. Urea, ammonia, sulfur, phosphates. The raw chemical inputs that farmers across South Asia, Southeast Asia, Africa, and Latin America pour into their soil every planting season to produce the yields that feed billions of people. And as the Iran war entered its 6th week, over 2,000 ships carrying food commodities and agricultural inputs were stuck, delayed, rerouted, or simply unable to move through the most important maritime corridor in global commodity trade. The numbers coming out of the FAO are stark and specific. The UN's Food and Agriculture Organization estimated that fertilizer prices could be an average of 20% higher in the first half of 2026 if the strait disruption is not resolved. And the FAO's chief economist, Maximo Torero, said something in March that should have made front pages around the world. When the Iran war began disrupting Gulf shipping in 2022, he said, countries were able to find alternatives, increasing imports from the Middle East. But that is not possible this time. The Gulf itself is the disrupted region. There are no substitutes waiting on the shelf. There are no strategic international fertilizer stockpiles the way there are emergency oil reserves for governments to release. The chief economist of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization said directly, the loss of Gulf exports creates an immediate global shortfall with no quick substitutes. The countries that will be hit hardest first, he said, are Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. Countries where half of the average household budget is spent on food, meaning that even small price increases translate directly into hunger for tens of millions of people. Fertilizer plants in India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan have already been forced to reduce or halt production entirely because the natural gas needed to manufacture fertilizer is no longer arriving at affordable prices. The strait disruption has cut off not just finished fertilizer being shipped to farmers, it has disrupted the gas supplies that allow countries to produce their own fertilizer domestically. The damage is happening on two levels simultaneously. And here's the part that makes this a slow-motion catastrophe rather than a sudden shock. Fertilizer applied to fields today determines the harvest months from now. The planting decisions that farmers are making in April and May 2026, right now, this month, will determine what food is available on shelves in the fall. The FAO warned that there is a 3-month window for action before risks escalate significantly.
Wait a minute. What the hell is April and May doing on the days section? They supposed to be, the month's supposed to be displayed up here with the year. AI.
Back to global planting decisions for 2026 and beyond. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres put it simply, the prolonged closure of the strait is choking the movement of oil, gas, and
the Strait of Hormuz ain't the only water passage that they're fighting over or control over. There are many others. I mean, shit, that ain't the only place. Yeah, there's conflict going on in other places.
Fertilizer at a critical moment in the global planting season. A 2-week ceasefire was put in place in April, but shipping traffic through the strait has returned only to a trickle, with Tehran maintaining restrictions as long as the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports continues. Now add El Nino, because this is where the second crisis enters the picture, and where the timing becomes genuinely alarming. As of April 2026, the tropical Pacific is sitting in what scientists call ENSO-neutral conditions. That sounds reassuring. It is not. And so neutral is described by climate researchers as a deceptive atmospheric ceasefire, a temporary pause between weather patterns rather than a stable resting state. Multiple climate models are currently projecting a 61% probability that El Niño conditions will emerge over the May to July 2026 window and persist through the end of the year. Some models are going further, forecasting the possibility of a very strong El Niño event. One analysis from climate scientists described the potential 2026 El Niño as possibly the strongest in 140 years. Those are numbers that should get everyone's attention. El Niño is a naturally occurring climate phenomenon driven by warming.
I ain't getting into all this shit. Anyway, the Lord's plaguing the hell out of this world, and you better be ready for it, spiritually and mentally. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 37, behold the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. So this gonna be all over the world. And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side, from the north, south, east, and the west, right there smack in the middle, or whatever that is. Oh, my people, hear my word, make you ready to die battle. Yeah, it's a spiritual war. Yeah, and mental too, and it's all gonna be physical, but most importantly, it's gonna be spiritually a mental battle. And even those evils, ill times, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. So we're gonna be like, either some people, now I ain't saying all, but even some of the elect of Israel gonna be moving around the earth, rolling around, losing everything they have, like the house, the home, the apartment, the trailer, whatever the hell you live in. Hey, the Lord gonna guide our steps to certain places, and either we might be destined to be a martyr, might be put to death, might be locked up in prison, be released, or some of us might be wandering in the desert, or I don't know about that. Well, yeah, maybe the desert, because we scattered all over the world. We might be rolling in the desert, then we might find the Lord might lead to some shelter. I don't know. Be in the city, might be in the daggone woods, in the forest, in the jungle, somewhere. But the Lord gonna take care of us. And I can't say He won't, because we might be martyrs, but it's still gonna be taken care of. Yeah, it ain't gonna be no easy walk. It ain't gonna be no easy journey. That we just pray the Lord provide us and give us the strength to endure. Yeah, keep at it. Just pray the Lord give strength. Cause it ain't gonna be fucking easy. I know nothing against anybody, any prophet that say that the Lord got us. Yeah. You just, man. I don't know what it's gonna be like. All I can tell you, pray the Lord give you the strength to endure. Not knocking anybody doing they work, doing their thing, being diligent. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, don't know how it's gonna be. We really don't. We just pray the Lord give you the strength to endure. Cause I don't want to hear that like say it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy. The Lord gonna take care of us. I'm like, I hope so. I pray so. The reason why I say that because I be constantly like, I hope and pray the Lord I be of that number, man. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying I am. I damn sure don't want to do that. I want to say I hope and pray I am. That's what makes you keep going. You can't just fucking say that I am. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I got a lot of shit to say. Man, I just got so much to say and on my mind. That's why that's a good thing. You have the Lord. Pretty much, you have the Lord on your mind all the time. You got so much to think about when it comes to this. I mean, you don't want to stress you out, stress yourself out till you go mad and crazy. But no, it ain't like that. No, what is this? If the dollar collapsed, what happened next? I'm gonna save this. See what this is about. It's like 8-minute video. Yeah, it's an 8-minute video. Pure evil. Let me see. Worst nightmare. Politics or worst nightmare. Let me see what this Sabby Sab say. But I ain't gonna see it now. Let's see what back to Xander report. See what he got to say now. This time it's about water.
U.S. U.S. cities are now running out of water. That is not a statement to scare you. That is a statement I'm using to make sure you are prepared. Because what we are hearing from multiple officials across many different states is not only are we experiencing a drought, not only are we planning to have a very hot summer in just the next couple of months, but we're already seeing many different industries are growing. They're using data centers. We're expanding. And some are saying that this is the real cause of all of our problems. But I want to warn you that what I'm going to show you right now is likely going to scare you. It should, because if we run out of water, that doesn't just mean you can't mow or can't water your grass and actually wash your car. Those are two things you can't do. But
two things that's fucking not even necessary to do. But people be, oh, I can't tell me nothing. I'm gonna wash my car, man. I want that shine. I want my that dull ass paint. Fucking the UV rays from the daggone sun eating the shit out of that paint, making that shit flake, and you niggas want to keep washing your car. Man, fuck that shit. And fuck your car. And that grass, well, shit, I like to cut that grass when it's been watered, but man, that shit is dry. I was like cutting some folks' yards today. It didn't do anything. It just stayed stagnant. It was like, and oh yeah, the cold front. It's a cold front coming. I think I mentioned it. I don't know, did I mention it earlier today? No, it was yesterday. I mean, not yesterday. The first video I did today. Well, that was like a couple of hours ago. Yeah, before this video. Man, look at the temperature. Shit. After it's supposed to rain, it dropping down. And this is the month of May now. This week is the month from 1st, 2, 3, 4, 5, 60 degrees. No, man, it's supposed to be daggone. The temperature supposed to be in the 80s to the 90s. High 80s to the high 90s. No, not about high 90s, but sometimes it can get that. I remember last year and the year before that and the year before that was like in the 80s and the 90s. High 80s and in the 90s. Let me see. This is prediction, but oh my goodness. This is what May looks like, bro. This is what May looks like the whole month. This is what they predicted. Shit, 80s, 70s. No way, man. No way in heck. No way. Damn, this is gonna be one cool ass summer, I guess. And someplace, hey, June. Now this is, this is like a month. So I really don't know what it's gonna be like. But this is crazy though. Yeah, this is crazy though. Like the first week of they predicting the first week. I could see it likely being this cool. About the first or the last week of April to the first week of May, it's gonna be this cool. Yeah, I can believe that. And shit, if it's gonna be that cool, grass ain't gonna grow as much. Yeah, grass ain't gonna grow as much if it's that cool. Shit, first there's a drought that can't make the grass grow much, and then it's gonna be too cool for the grass to grow fast enough. Shit, lawn business ain't gonna either look good. It might be alright. I don't really give a shit. I want them niggas to lock this bitch down though. A cyber attack to go down, man. And nothing. We don't be able to move nowhere. Anyway, let me get back to the video and start rambling.
I not even have enough water to drink, to shower, and to wash your dishes. Yeah, look at this.
Corpus Christi is about to become the first city in modern American history to run out of water. This is what decades of Republican governance looks like when they let corporations write the rules. Texas Republicans allowed chemical plants, refineries, petrochemical facilities to set up shop in Corpus Christi and guzzle water like it's infinite. One single Exxon Plastics plant drinks 13 million gallons a day. Every city pool...
hold on, what? And this is not a data center.
Wash your dishes. Yeah, look at this.
Corpus Christi is about to become the first city in modern American history to run out of water. This is what decades of Republican governance looks like when they let corporations write the rules. Texas Republicans allowed chemical plants, refineries, petrochemical facilities to set up shop in Corpus Christi and guzzle water like it's infinite. One single Exxon Plastics plant drinks 13 million gallons a day. Every city pool and splash pad in Corpus Christi combined doesn't even touch that over an entire summer. And residents have already been under lawn watering bans since 2023. The people are tapped out. The corporations, they're not. And now,
for you regular people out there, shit. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. And we at that time, there's so much division. Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of fighting going on. And the earth shall stand still in fear, shall stand in fear, not still, but stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still. That's why I said still for this part. But anyway, in 3 hours they shall not run. So pretty much there ain't gonna be no dripping and dropping out of your faucet. Because either this plastic facility or the data center or whatever got all the water.
Now the city's going to mandate 25% water cuts in September, and the corporations
got all the water and they're using it all up. Shit.
Responsible for draining that reservoir have not even explained how or whether they're even going to comply. The city isn't even sure it has legal authority to enforce cuts on them. And Greg Abbott, his response was to threaten to take over the city and blame.
Hey, yo, that's right. He ain't about the fucking people. If you actually believe that, he's a WEFer. Yeah, he's all about the World Economic Forum. He's a World Economic Forum member.
In local leadership, not Exxon, the city.
You know what's really interesting about that? First off, some of these large corporations are using about 60% of all the water. Okay, 60%. Down in Corpus Christi, they're using 60% of all the water. Meaning the residents, the people that work at those plants, can't even use the water. There are stories about people are boiling eggs, and they're boiling eggs in the morning, waiting for the water to cool so that they can use that water to then go and water their plants. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Dang.
I remember watching a TikTok just the other day. Somebody had soup.
At least they ate. At least they still have water. Some places can't get shit. Well, not shit, but actually have actual clean water. They have to boil an egg. They gonna end up using a spit if they got enough spit. They boil the egg with a spit. Shit.
They boiled their.
If they were crying, they probably used the tear out of their eyes to boil the egg. Shit, that's a lot of crying to do to just boil an egg.
Soup. Okay, again, it's interesting. Boiled their soup, cooked it, whatever, and then they took the noodle water, and that's what they were using to clean their shoes or boots.
So they can smell like noodles. Their shoes smell like noodles, and it be clean.
It's interesting what people are doing right now. But again, that's just one city.
Hey man, that's hard times, and they coming, bro. It's gonna be one city, shit. Make it one country, a whole world. Some of the whole world don't have that luxury of having clean water. They can boil noodles and use that same water, the noodle water to clean their shoes.
It's Corpus Christi. Okay, there's other cities as well. Look at this one right here.
Denver's running out of water. This is save it or lose it, and I hate to break it to you, but there are water restrictions in Colorado's biggest city. A record low snowpack is one of the issues, but there's another thing that bothers me. We blame drought way too much. First off, all these states that are running out of water, Texas, Florida, Arizona, Colorado, they all count on the rain or snow to bail them out. And then, if it rains or it snows, they keep doing the same thing, pumping and pumping, building and building, and adding more and more industry. And that's the other thing that bothers me, that when these articles are written by the news or by city governments, they usually call out the residents. Mrs. Jones, for example, who's watering her flowers too much. In Denver's case, we need to drink less water at restaurants. How about we first call out those that are governed by different rules, whether it's data centers, which Denver has a lot of, or golf courses, or sprawling agriculture, or oil and gas. You name it, everywhere in the U.S. It seems like corporations are getting a blank check to extract and destroy the resources that we need to survive. So, sorry if you're trying to make a quick buck here, but how much longer can we keep going like this? How much...
And where I find it very interesting and somewhat troubling is these corporations will come into your cities or your states, like in Texas. That's oil and gas, okay? Energy capital of the world. But what's happening in Texas, in Corpus Christi, in Houston, in Dallas, Fort Worth, what we're seeing is the industry's coming in. They're using the resources, and then when they're tapped out and the resources are not there or it's not enough, they pick up and move to a different city or state. That's why Texas is really growing at this time. But some are concerned that after it grows so much, you're going to see it drop. Same thing over in Florida. Now, here's the interesting thing. Everyone's talking about the data centers. Data centers are using up all the water. Well, they're using up a good portion of it. But this has been going on for decades. This has been going on for a long time, that some of these large corporations are coming in, they're consuming so much water, so much electricity, it's raising the prices for everybody else. But, and this is where the government's stepping in. They're saying, well,
shit, they step in, you fucked for sure.
We have to abide by what they're doing because they're bringing jobs into the community. And if they weren't coming into this community, they'd go to some other one. So why not have it where we can benefit for that time being? Well, some are saying we don't want them in our cities.
Hey, hold on, Jobs. What is the data center? They're producing jobs? Shit.
Just to name a few, okay? Corpus Christi and Denver. But this is happening all over the place. Look at this one right here. A town in Arizona could run out of water in just 3 months. That is Kearney, Arizona. I talked about this.
And water wars, man.
A week or 2 weeks ago, and I said that the concern was that they could be, well, they're really close to running out of water. They're just 3 months away. But what exactly does this mean, and how is this going to impact you? Well, if cities start running out of water, everyone's going to be looking to see, well, how can we scale back? I was talking to a friend of mine just recently. He was saying that, yes, they have been informed that they should dial it back a little bit. He runs a restaurant, okay? He runs a restaurant in Texas, and they told him, we should scale it back a little bit. Okay, scale it back.
Let me start, because I didn't realize doing 1 minute and 15, not 1 minute, shit, I'm tripping. 1 hour and 15 minutes I'm in with this video. Let me go ahead and wrap it up with this last scripture. Ecclesiastes chapter 29, verse 21. See, I'm trying to listen to what's going on so I can be informed at the same time, getting into the lesson by teaching and getting the scriptures. Because I haven't watched any of these videos. Hold on, let me check. Any of these videos I watched? No, I haven't. Or played, this first time I played all these videos. And some of them kind of old. But I finally got them out the way. But, yeah, let me just go ahead and get to this last one. I was thinking about throwing another one in. But, I'll bring it out. Hold on, let me see, where is it? This one right here. What is, I don't know the brother's name. They go, oh, shit, let me make this bigger. They go to the channel. Is it? Guess where your water is going? GMS Inland Empire 2. I think for the West Coast. You know what? I'll play a little bit of it.
Y'all not gonna believe this shit,
because I wasn't sure if I was gonna play it, but yeah, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, look at this map. Come on, look at it. Look at it real good. Look at those dots. All right, look at all the blue dots. Look at all the blue dots. Motherfuckers is there in Anchorage and Fairbanks, Alaska. Both cities have a blue dot. Look at all the blue dots. All right, let's go over the blue dots. Okay? I'm gonna go to Walmart.
Look at all that fucking shit.
Tom, you know what state you live in. Okay? Look at it. All the blue dots are data centers. Each one of those blue dots pull 2 million gallons of water a day. Look at that shit. Okay? That's 2 million gallons of water. And every one of these states have water problems, water crisis, droughts.
I mean, the droughts ain't creating, the data centers ain't creating a drought. It's the lack of rain that's what's creating the drought. And even if I say there was no data centers, they can have, reserve water that's reserved. Is that gonna really go to the citizens? No. I don't know. But the droughts ain't being created by the data center, but it is adding more problems. Especially when they're using reserve water or aquifers, underground shit, whatever. But the drought occurs when there's no rain. It's hadn't been no rain for shit. Ain't much rain. Yeah, it hadn't been much rain. It seen rain for the first time in 2 months. Or maybe 3 months. I think it been 2 months. Yeah, 2 months. And it's actually hadn't even seemed to be so hot. But it's still, everything's dry. But, whatever.
Same. Look at Florida.
Because like I was saying, it wasn't so hot. You had they weren't really 90 degrees. We ain't reached 90 yet. In May, like I showed you that 1 month, but that's a prediction. But like next week, here where I'm at in Georgia, shit, the temperature's gonna be in the 70s and in the 60s. And shit, yeah, but a cold front. Shit is crazy, bro. This is crazy, bro. I'm surprised over here it's not so hot. But boy, anyway.
God damn, no wonder they only got 20% water left. Look at all these drought restrictions. Look at all that shit. Look at Texas. No wonder Texas is going dry. Look at the Midwest. Look at this shit. Now, let's all look at the yellow dots. Alright? See the yellow dots? Let's go over it one more time. Look at the yellow dots. Alright? That's where data centers are coming.
Oh,
those are the new data
ain't
centers.
Built up yet. And these motherfuckers are stacked on top of each other. Shit.
Being built. All the yellow.
And you know what all that blue and all that yellow, that color makes? When you combine blue and yellow, you know what color that makes? Green. Green for all these fucking shit for Esau Amalek. Anyway, yeah, here go the title of the video. There go his channel. Let me finish up. Shit. Ecclesiastes chapter 29 verse 21. The chief thing for life is water and food and clothing and the house to cover shame. But in all those videos I played, it was about the water at the end, but a lot about the food or the bread. Man, it's about to get crazy up here, and you want to pray like heaven, Lord, have mercy on you. So the best way to do it is by seeking the Lord's prophets and then taking heed to what they say and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, and repenting to Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, the power of Yahweh Shema Shah, keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and your trust strong, Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong, Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order, Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and bless to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.